So I'm Jaclyn Crupi and today we're at Onorina's house and we're going to make some pasta. Okay, so sale, salt.
Yeah, salt.
You tell me how much.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Enough,
that's good.
yeah.
Okay. And we're going to put a little bit of olive oil.
L'olio fa soft.
Yeah, we're going to make the dough a bit softer.
And non stick too
And
much.
won't stick. So we start beating the eggs and incorporating in a little bit of flour. Onorina's done 3 eggs, so roughly 300 grams of flour.
Yeah.
And it's tipo 00, vero?
Sì.
Which is a nice finely milled flour to make a nice soft dough. So Onorina is 88 years old and she's been making pasta since she was about 10. So the math on that is 78 years of pasta making knowledge. So we've just added a little bit of water to the dough because it was a little dry, and that's just because all eggs are different. So we're really just stretching gluten. Every nonna has her own method, and typically we would rest it a little bit before we pass it through the machine. If you could leave it for half an hour to an hour,
Yes.
that's ideal. So on the widest setting of the pasta machine, you start working the dough through. And at this stage, Onorina works the dough quite hard because she likes it to be a strong dough. Beautiful, smooth, strong.
One box of eggs just 180.
Wow. So they sometimes go to Coburg and buy boxes of eggs, 118 eggs, and that's just for pasta making. Yeah, it's 1 egg per person, so they're feeding 118 people. Do you ever buy short pasta?
No.
No. So she might buy spaghetti,
Yeah.
but fettuccine or tagliatelle.
No.
No, you can see. She's speaking for herself. I don't need to tell. That was a hard no.
I do myself.
She'll do it herself. Now we're going to start progressively making the space between the rollers smaller. So we go from 0 to 1. And now's when we can really pick up some speed. So we've got the pasta cut to the lengths that we want, and now it's time to make it into fettuccine or spaghetti or whatever shape we'd like. But this one needs to dry out a bit before we cut it, or we risk it all sticking together. So we have some that Onorina has already made. It's nice and dry. You can feel it's much less floppy. Shall we cut some? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. This is the magic moment.
Sì, faccio così, metto
Sì.
da qua. Andiamo da qua.
And we put them into little nest shapes, and that way you can freeze them in this shape. And 2 per person is probably about right. We always use every little bit, so even these little tiny offcuts will get dried out and put into a jar and then used for soups. So this is the pasta we've made today, and this would be enough for, I would say, 8 people, made by a true expert pasta maker who's been doing it for 70 years.